Hey everybody, welcome to Talk Utah. I'm Holly Love with Trip Mitchell, and we have such a fun show planned for you today.
I wish you could see behind the scenes when we do a show. We just started, and I don't want to give away a trade secret, but we're doing 2 shows today.
Okay.
And
You did just give away a trade secret, by the way.
okay, secret. But the fact that you weren't sure which show we were doing, and you've written the show, you've shot all the features. I love you. You are amazing.
Well, are you being sincere right now? Did you?
It was a little ironic that you just wrote the show.
Well, I just didn't know which one was which. I got a little confused.
Okay, well that's fine. Speaking of confusing,
Are-
how was your
are-
trip to Vegas?
That it was a little confusing. So we went to Vegas with Farrell and the Crowd Surfing Boys. Actually, really what happened was Comcast, because we weren't kicked out of Sundance at the end of the day, really, and we kind of pulled that off, and we actually had a really good time with that. Comcast sent us down to Vegas to see, what trouble we could get into down there.
And you succeeded.
And we succeeded in getting into some trouble, and we had a really good time. But how come you didn't come, Trip Mitchell? What was that about?
Well, I'm going to be down in Vegas for NAB, which is coming up, National Association of Broadcasters, and I'll be down there as a station. There are a lot of really important things coming up in television.
You didn't invite me.
I think your strength is on camera. You're amazing, but this is
You
a
think my
business.
strength is on camera, and I just wrote both the shows?
You just spent 45 minutes getting your mic adjusted. That was the longest, most cumbersome thing I've ever seen.
It was hard. Sometimes they have a hard time with the cords and everything, not pulling all weird or rustling.
I was fascinated,
But
but anyway.
I do have to tell you this on Vegas. I asked around, and nobody knew who you were.
25 years on television in a market and they forget you. We'll be back after this short break. We've got news you can use coming up right now.
We did the psychiatrist and the psychologist and the neurologist and all the different ologists. Brain Balance was able to put their finger on it and say, this is exactly why she's struggling.
If one hemisphere of the brain dominates the other, learning and behavior are affected. Brain Balance fixes this connection, resulting in life-changing improvement.
At school, the teachers can't believe the change that has come about.
This is not my kid anymore. This is this totally different kid.
At Salt Lake City Med Spa, beauty goes way beyond skin deep. While Dr. Brent Larson is nationally sought after for his unique ability to combine precision and skill with artistry and the latest technology, including Ultherapy, the amazing non-surgical facelift with no downtime, and Cool Sculpting, the safe, easy, non-surgical way to eliminate those stubborn fat areas. He also specializes in diet, exercise, and hormone therapy. So if you're feeling tired, anxious, have weight problems, or you're on depression medication that just isn't working anymore, call for a free consultation with Dr. Larson and discover how fast bioidentical hormone therapy can re-energize your life, making depression and anxiety disappear in as quickly as a few days. Plus, mention this ad and receive 30% off any procedure. Salt Lake City Med Spa, where beauty goes beyond skin deep.
And welcome back to Talk Utah. Trip Mitchell and Holly Love on a beautiful, beautiful spring day.
It is a beautiful spring day. Oh my goodness. I love Utah right now. Thank you so much, Utah. I know the skiers hate me, but I love the warm weather.
We're a little frustrated, I'll give you
know.
that. But you know who's really frustrated?
Who?
The Salt Lake Fire Department.
Okay, yeah.
Now,
News you can use. We got a good one.
This is the true definition of irony.
Okay.
The police, or the fire station number 2, which is located kind of on the northwest side,
Of Salt Lake.
yes, had a fire at their fire station.
How?
Spontaneous combustion of rags. So they'd clean the barbecue with a rag. And first of all,
The barbecue.
First of all, you never clean a barbecue. That takes away so much flavor. You let that accumulate. You have the steak next to the chicken, next to the fish on there, all clumpy.
You never clean it?
Oh, no. That takes away a lot of taste.
Wow, okay, so just noted, if you ever get an invitation to a barbecue.
At the Tomaine Hideaway. But that being said, basically an alarm went off, but it didn't mesh with the rest of the fire alarms in the building.
Okay.
And so 9 firemen they had to evacuate their fire station, have another fire department come over to put out the flames, and 9 firemen, and this isn't funny, but it is just the definition of irony.
Well, why couldn't they put out their own fire?
Because I think they were too busy evacuating their, it's hard to put on your little outfit and your boots and slide down the pole and get in.
When you're trying to run out the door and not get caught on fire?
Exactly.
Wow, I want to know more about that one. Okay,
Okay,
tell
you
me
were
the
out of
next
town,
one.
so you're not guilty.
I know, okay.
But that's the definition of irony. Then the second story is great.
Okay.
Now, I've already got a nickname for this.
I'm ready.
Okay, the biggest fight in the history of Vegas is going to be going on between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather.
Okay,
But Salt Lake, not to get outdone,
okay.
Evander Holyfield and Mitt Romney are going to square off on May 15th here in town at the Railhead.
What?
This is a fight for charity, and it's a charity that was founded by a gentleman here in Salt Lake, and it goes around the world and does eye surgeries for people in the developing world, and they average $25 in eye surgery. I mean, just
Okay.
a tremendous cause.
There
So
are
Mitt-
world countries out there helping people who
Yep,
have
yeah.
some eye problems.
Yeah, and basically what they do, which is really smart, is they don't send American doctors out, they train doctors in the field, so existing doctors to do this. So it's a great, great cause. And I've got a nickname for the fight.
They're gonna box?
Yep. Mitt Romney, the Vanilla Thriller.
Like the Thriller in Manila?
Exactly. Very good
Vanilla,
reference.
Vanilla.
The Vanilla Thriller. So this will be great, and we'll have to copy it, or I should say we should definitely get down there and do a feature from it, because that'll be a great story.
Evander Holyfield. I got Thriller in Manila, but I screwed up his name. He's a nice guy.
He, as a matter of fact, I did one of his last fights. I was lucky enough to do it with Al Bernstein, and Craig produced it for a worldwide pay-per-view.
Yeah?
And that was a big deal and a lot of fun, and he is a nice guy, and he's doing this for charity, so I think
Because
it'll
that
be...
fight, the Thriller in Manila fight, that was not a nice fight. They kind of hated each other.
They hated each other a
Pretty-
lot,
pretty-
but that was the old days in boxing.
Yeah, now they're friends. They're
Okay,
cool.
when we come back, we're going to do some cowboy poetry and learn about some pretty cool events.
We are. Yeah. I wanted you to talk about how much you love Mitt Romney, but I guess you wanted to get out of that one.
I did. We'll be back after this short break.
If you've been looking for alternative healthcare, imagine coming into a facility where you can meet with someone who specializes in your condition and then takes your exam findings and meets with a team of specialists to come up with a combined approach that will put you back on the path to health. At Integrated Wellness, they have everything from a medical doctor to an allergy specialist on staff. All combined, they can treat conditions ranging from rheumatoid arthritis to allergies, even chronic fatigue. Call Integrated Wellness for your consultation so you can be on the path to wellness today.
She had a lot of trouble in school.
He had some impulsivity issues.
He was having a lot of meltdowns, a lot of tantrums.
I feel like all I did was yell at my kid all day.
Brain Balance is the answer for your kid because it didn't just mask the problems, it actually addressed the issue.
We started seeing huge differences in her behavior.
It's a totally different life.
And welcome back to Talk Utah. Our very own Holly Love had a chance to learn about some cool events coming up at Antelope Island. And Antelope Island, by the way, is one of the cool spots.
So it was the first time I've ever been to Antelope Island. We were invited up to a meeting about an upcoming event. It's called Cowboy Legends. It's its 10th year. It's happened for 10 years in a row. They call it a gathering, which I think is cute. That's kind of the cowboy term for it. And they raised money for Huntsman Cancer. All of the proceeds goes to Huntsman Cancer from this event.
Can you drive to this event, or do you have to ride to it?
On a horse?
Yes, do you have to be on a horse?
No, you drive, and
Okay.
so it's a free event. It's over Memorial Day weekend, so we're getting a jump on it because it's for charity. And I figure I've lived in Utah my entire life. I didn't know about the event. I've never been to Antelope Island, and so we're trying to draw a little bit of awareness to it and tell people, because it is like a really, really cool event, all for charity. And like you said, the island is beautiful. We're going to be there. We're hopefully going to get you on a horse.
I love Holly's segues. The island is beautiful, and I'm going to be there.
I think I said we're going to be there.
Well,
I was including you.
Okay,
And the
but-
beauty of the island.
okay.
And I'm hopeful. I've been working on some things with these boys, like you and a horse.
The two do not mix very
I
well.
know. We've got some really good horse stories
And
with you.
we had it before the show today, as you were writing, I was trying to come up with the fact that I'm not much on poetry. I like limericks more.
Limericks.
Yes, there once
Okay.
was a man from Nantucket, and it goes on from there.
And then what happens?
Well, they have a tendency not to show up on broadcast TV.
The limericks.
Yes.
The naughty limericks?
Naughty limericks.
Wow, okay,
So you were the right person to send out on this shoot.
You would have been thoroughly confused by the cowboy poetry. You would have wanted to make it a little bit more crazy. So we met at West Weber Elementary School because we had people coming from many states to gather together to talk about this upcoming event. I spoke with the organizers, and I also spoke with a really famous cowboy poet who is only 11 years old, and I have some predictions for him. I think Ellen is in his future, but take a look.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Now before we get to Thatch and his poetry, we decided we had to hold on to him so people wouldn't leave, right? You gotta save that as a big time teaser. We're gonna talk a little bit with Don and Clay about the Cowboy Legends Gathering. That's what we like to call it, annual event. This is the 10th year, and it's out at Antelope Island. Now, Don and I, we met at the German Fest doing crowd surfing.
Yes, we did.
Which was really fun.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun out there.
Which is why you have such a fancy mustache.
It works also for the Germans as it does the Cowboys.
Isn't that ironic?
You take one hat off, put the other hat on, later hosing off, and cowboy clothes on.
So we had a little chat there at the German Festival, and then you grabbed us and told us about the Cowboy Legends event, and we got excited and wanted to talk to you a little bit. So tell me about it.
We have this like you say, this is the 10th year. We have been going out there and doing this. It's for Huntsman Cancer. Everything that we do is for Huntsman Cancer. We don't charge for this festival, charge to get on the island. We'd appreciate if people would donate out there to us so that we get some little more money to give to Huntsman Cancer. It's fabulous. We got 3 stages going all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday, a dinner show Friday night, a dinner show Saturday night, a picnic on Sunday night. We have an auction going on Monday that we auction off items that are donated from different businesses, and all that money all goes to Huntsman Cancer.
There you go.
Enjoy yourself.
Well, now, Clay, we're going to spin around here and we'll chat with you for a second because you are over Antelope Island. I have to be honest, when we came out and met with you guys, that was the first time I've ever been out there. It is absolutely beautiful. There is a whole thing about spiders we'll have to talk about later, which is a thing that people come to. It's famous for. But tell me about your experience with this event.
Well, Cowboy Legends is one of the best events on Antelope Island. People come from all around to come down and visit and see the natural history and that we have. And it's a great fitting for Cowboy Legends. You come out there, you have the wagon rides, you have the vendors, you have the Dutch oven food, you have the kids' activities, the poets, the musicians, with the backdrop of one of Utah's oldest ranches, and the bison, the pronghorn, and the mule deer wandering in the background. It's just a perfect setting for an event like this.
Well, and it's a great excuse to get out there. So if you have not been to Antelope Island, if you have not heard of Cowboy Legend Gathering, or if you have, either way, seriously, it is beautiful out there. The poetry, as you're going to see coming up here in a minute by Thatch and Sam, is amazing. It sounds like an absolutely fun event. We're going to be there. I think we're going to let Farrell come. I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that a little bit further. But you guys, thank you for talking to us. We're going to get Thatch and Sam back on, and stay tuned for a little bit of cowboy poetry coming up right after this. System Networks has been helping companies nationwide for a surprisingly low price. With a wide range of 24/7 technical support services and a staff of high-level network engineers, System Networks can eliminate all your company's time-wasting technical problems, allowing your team to be more efficient and able to focus on the work they do. System Networks has the most sophisticated and secure cloud services in the country and programs like Office 365. Plus, System Networks can customize data plans to meet the budgetary needs of any sized company.
My name's Jeff Laramie. I'm the CEO of Beans and Brews Coffee House. I originally called System Networks because we wanted to try outsourcing our IT. I would highly recommend System Networks because they've been a fantastic IT partner for us. They're super reliable, very knowledgeable, and they've just been a great overall consultant for us.
Mention this ad and they'll put $1,500 toward a new server, cloud licensing, or firewalls. Let System Networks handle your technical needs so you can focus on what you do best. At Salt Lake City Med Spa, beauty goes way beyond skin deep. While Dr. Brent Larson is nationally sought after for his unique ability to combine precision and skill with artistry and the latest technology, including Therapy, the amazing non-surgical facelift with no downtime. And Cool Sculpting, the safe, easy, non-surgical way to eliminate those stubborn fat areas. He also specializes in diet, exercise, and hormone therapy. So if you're feeling tired, anxious, have weight problems, or you're on depression medication that just isn't working anymore, call for a free consultation with Dr. Larson and discover how fast bioidentical hormone therapy can re-energize your life, making depression and anxiety disappear in as quickly as a few days. Plus, mention this ad and receive 30% off any procedure. Salt Lake City Med Spa, where beauty goes beyond skin deep.
She had a lot of trouble in school.
He had some impulsivity issues.
He was having a lot of meltdowns, a lot of tantrums.
I feel like all I did was yell at my kid all day.
Brain Balance is the answer for your kid because it didn't just mask the problems, it actually addressed the issue.
We started seeing huge differences in her behavior.
It's a totally different life.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so what do you think so far? Are we going to get you on a horse?
No. First of all, that ain't happening. And I'm going to be in Nantucket for the another convention for limericks.
Really? Wow. Yes. I'm going to still work on you on this because you haven't seen that yet. He is absolutely adorable. He is actually one of the first kids to ever be invited to perform at the national, the Super Bowl of cowboy poetry. He's 10, 11 years old. And he's performed all over the country. I have a prediction that this kid is going to find his way to superstardom. And Ellen, you know what? If you're watching, I'm going to give you a shout out.
I'm just going to say this, the odds are against her watching right now, but if she is.
Maybe we could send this out to Ellen. And I'm just going to say now, Ellen, first of all, I love you so much. But I would like to be the person to help you find super awesome, cute, talented kids because there's so many in Utah, right? And Thatch being one of them. I'm just telling you, this kid belongs on your show. He's adorable. So we're going to meet Thatch. We're going to also meet Sam coming up here in a minute. They're going to tell us a little bit more about the event and how they got started and the history of cowboy poetry.
I've got a feeling, this is prediction right now, that Holly's going to try to be his manager and there'll be a lawsuit in about 6 years, but that's just a guess.
No, he's too sweet of a kid.
Hey everybody, I am here at West Weber Elementary School, which was a central meeting point for these lovely folks who came to talk to me. We've got Thatch and Sam. I was going to call you Sue, which is, I don't know where that came from.
Whatever. It's just fine.
And we met here because you came from a little bit of a drive to meet us today.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have a celebrity among us right here. Before we totally dive in, I'm going to tell you, these two lovely people are both cowboy poets, and they will be performing at the 10th Annual Cowboy Legends Gathering. That is at Antelope Island, 10 years, pretty awesome. 10 years. Now, Thatch, let's start with you because, how old are you?
I'm 11.
You are 11 years old. Now, I picture cowboy poets to be kind of like old guys at the sheep camp by the fire. How did this happen?
Well, the people that we get our hay from for our horses, they really like to hear all of my poems, and so they told me that I should start doing this, and my dad, he wrote a little cowboy poetry, and so that's kind of just where it started, and I guess I just took it from there.
So it was your dad that introduced you to it, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. And so what do you want to do with this? How and where have you been performing?
Elko, Nevada is the central for cowboy poetry, and that's pretty much the Super Bowl for cowboy poetry. But Colorado and New Mexico and Arizona.
So you've been traveling everywhere?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your first time to Utah?
No, I've been to Utah a lot.
You've been to Utah a lot. Have you done this event before?
No, this is my first time at this event.
This is your first time. Now, Miss Sam, tell me a little bit about the Cowboy Legends.
It is so much fun. Monday, we're going to have an auction. Now, what you have to understand is this whole weekend is to benefit Huntsman Cancer Institute. And last year, we handed over to them over $4,000 after the weekend. Wow. So we're hoping to top that and go a little bit more this year. So anybody that has time to come out, it's the cost to get on the island is all it is.
It is free, so it's absolutely free to go to the event. You just have to pay to get on the island, which is a car, like basically a carload.
It's a carload for $10. The only time we charge is for the dinner shows.
And then let's talk cowboy poetry. So Thatch, tell me, I've never been to a cowboy poetry thing. I'm from a small town in Utah, so it's kind of crazy that I've missed out, but what's it like?
It's very family friendly. We don't do it for competition. And we just do it for fun, and we just do it to be with some of our favorite people.
And Sam, how long have you been doing this?
Do I have to give my age?
No.
Time for over 20 years traveling, yes.
And you go all over the country?
All over the western United States. I've been anywhere from Sierra Vista, which is down on the Mexican border, to up in Canada, and from Nebraska to California, and parts in between.
Tell me a little bit about how cowboy poetry got started in general.
Cowboy poetry, cowboys. Let's define the cowboys. After the Civil War, the ones that were able to move and go were a lot of the young men of the families, were boys. Not much older than this young man, but maybe a little bit. And as they would sit around the campfire, as we were talking before, they would start telling tall tales or whatever. There were people from Europe who had come across the ocean, had gone on this for whatever reason, for money, for adventure, and they brought with them the good works of the European artists and authors. And so they would start telling their poetry from Europe, and then the cowboys would kind of adapt to that and start writing their own with the same rhyme scheme or meter, and then they just, because at the Cowboys, on the movies, there's like this 50-piece orchestra going and whatever. There was not. You were lucky if you had a harmonica, maybe a guitar, maybe a fiddle, but very few instruments that way. And so they would do poetry, and then pretty soon they do put the poetry to music. And they would sing to the cows. That part is true.
Okay, so as promised, you are going to give us a little taste of what we can hear if we come to the Cowboy Legends gathering out at Antelope Island, because you're going to be a performer there. Now this boy's famous, everybody, so this is a big deal. All right, do you want to take the mic?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's let you just have it.
Thank you. Well, this is a poem that I wrote, and like Sam said, it is about a two-headed calf. I was visiting the other day with this rancher friend of mine, and the story that he told me, well, it dang near blew my mind. He told me he was checking cows down at his calving sheds, and he was shocked to find, well, just laying there, a calf that had two heads. He had to take a double look to verify this sight, then thinking to himself, he said, "Nuh-uh, now that just can't be right." But sure enough, the calf turned round, 4 ears, 4 eyes, and 2 nose, and with a shaky, wobbly motion, on 4 legs this calf arose. His body was quite normal, 4 legs, 1 butt, and 1 tail. I looked at him and asked him if this critter was for sale. Old Festus looked at me and said, "This critter I cannot part." The poor confused old brand inspector would not know where to start. Ear tags are the common way to identify your steer. But do you tag each head or both? Not to mention, heck, which ear? And when it comes to branding, do I burn just one side? Or should I heat it up once more and burn the opposite hide? Now these dilemmas got to me, and a decision I must make. Do I choose the novelty of 2 heads, or a big old juicy steak?
Wow. So now that is some deep thinking right there. There was some real stuff to think about on a 2-headed cow. Is that a true story?
Yes, ma'am, there is a 2-headed calf.
Where is this calf?
Well, about 86 miles from my house, and it's in a place called, let me think.
Where the 2-headed calf lives?
Yes, where the 2-headed calf lives.
I think that's probably a pretty fair place to call it. So I guess I don't really want to know what they decided to do. Brand it, steak. I like to pretend like the steak that I eat is just something magical. It's not the 2-headed calf. I'm just kidding. But okay, you're super adorable. I mean, I would like to just I'm probably your biggest fan right now.
Thank you very much.
I think Ellen needs to know about you. Have you been on Ellen yet?
No, ma'am, I haven't.
All right, when you're on Ellen, will you tell her that Holly Love said, "I knew she would love you"?
'Cause that's just going to happen.
I will.
I just feel it. I feel like that's a thing. All right, Miss Sam, this is a tough act to follow, but I'm going to pass the mic your way.
This is not the first time I've had to follow this young man. Yeah. Well, this story really has to do with county fairs and state fairs where the kids are selling their beef, swine, sheep at the fair after they've been raising it all summer long and babying them. And, oh, it's really a sad day. It actually is. Are you raising a critter you're going to eat someday? Are you planning on having it pit broiled, skewered, or filet? Now, if you're going to eat it, be careful what you name it. Call it biscuit, spuds, gravy if you're going to claim it. Because if you name it Cuddles, Freckles, oh, baby doll or dude, your family won't allow you to have him barbecued. You'd become the monster that took away their friend, and you'd become a murderer that caused its life to end. So call that little piggy pork chops, or maybe little bacon bits. Call that critter T-bone, chuck, sirloin, tips, or grits. Choose the names carefully for those critters raised for food. Call them any of the names that can be breaded, fried, or chewed.
That was fantastic. Okay, so I grew up in a farm town, and I feel like there's some truth to this story.
Oh, there is absolute truth. And I was a 4-H teacher for about 30 years. Horse 4-H. But, yeah, we go down and help at the barns every fair. And it's a sad time.
It's a hard thing. Like I said, I'm in total denial about the whole thing. I like to not pretend. Well, that was a wonderful, wonderful taste of what we can expect at the gathering out at Antelope Island coming up here. You guys, thank you for coming and thank you for talking to me. Thatch, all the way from Montana?
Bear River, Wyoming.
I was completely wrong. I don't know why I missed that. It's because I'm like captivated by that cute face of yours. I can't even think straight. All right, Miss Sam, why don't you tell us one more time when and where this whole thing is going down?
Okay, it is over Memorial Weekend, which starts May 22nd to the 25th. It's at Antelope Island at the Garfielding Ranch. So if you want further information, www.cowboylegendsai.com. There we go.
We'll put it up on the screen for you so that you can find more information, because there's a ton of events happening. It starts at like 10 a.m., goes all day long. It's going to be a ton of fun, and we're going to be there for sure. And definitely, I'm going to be a fan of Thatch. I'm gonna wear the button, and we're gonna get people there, I'm sure, just from seeing that cute little face. All right, you guys. Well, that does it for Talk Utah. I couldn't have asked for a better crew to end this show with. Thatch, do you want to throw us out?
We'll see you guys.
Just like that, man. My job's over. This kid's gonna steal the show. He already did. Right?